Hello and welcome. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce to all of you Archa Malhotra, all the way from Gurgaon, India. She is an artist who actually is resident in Silver Springs, Maryland. But right now, because of COVID, her visit to India has extended and she is doing this interview all the way from Gurgaon, India. She is an architect by profession, but art is her passion. And she indulges in various kinds of art, whether it be creating coloring books for children or making jewelry. Color is something that appeals to her a lot, and digital art is something that she also indulges in. Welcome to Lokvani, Archa Malhotra. What a pleasure to see you.
Thank you so much, Rajniji. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, glad that you're using your wonderful time at in Gurgaon, India, to not only, I'm sure, doing your art, but also now you have become an Ekal India Art Ambassador. Ekal Vidyalaya, for those of you who may not know, is an organization that brings education to over 100,000 remote rural villages. We are running an art competition for bringing not only awareness and creativity to children in the US, while also supporting digital literacy in our villages. And Archa is an art ambassador for us who is going to be offering workshops and also doing outreach for ACAL. Fantastic, Archa. Thank you so much for your giving your time to this very special cause. I wanted to ask you, architecture, how did you get into that? And, where did you do the architecture?
I have always been, interested in creative through my childhood, and always interested in art, in architecture, and forms like that kind of form. So architecture was something that naturally came to me when we had to make a choice and decide what stream of work I wanted to use. I wanted to go into architecture, so that's how it worked out. And then after I did it from MNIT Jaipur in Rajasthan, and then I moved to the United States to pursue higher studies in landscape architecture from Virginia Tech. And that went on for a while. After graduating, I worked with a couple of multidisciplinary firms in the DMV area. And I did a lot of construction management, had to move away from architecture and actually get into civil engineering and that part of it. So that's how all of it happened. And then I had to take a break when my children were born. So that's when art and digital art and everything came in. So that's how it is.
That's fantastic. I mean, growing up in Jaipur, I mean, to me, that is the very epitome of beautiful architecture, that city. Did that influence you anyway, when you looked around?
I'll actually have to correct you there, Rajniji. I didn't grow up in Jaipur.
Oh.
My dad was in the Air Force. So we really moved around the entire country a lot. Like we would move every 2 years. We would, move from one city to the other. And maybe that's what actually helped me make that decision. I mean, you see all these places, you see all these different cities, there's different architecture everywhere, there's a different character to every city. So that's what actually helped me.
Now, I was going to say that I think wanted your comments on ancient Indian architecture, because I think art and architecture had really, elevated to a very high level in India prior to, I think more recent times. I didn't know if you had any comment on it and what you feel about being Indian and absorbing all those artistic traditions around you.
Oh, I love it. And that is something that, really just that gives you so much inspiration in your own artwork. It's not just the flora and fauna all around you, but it's the building, it's the built form that really just helps put character to your work. So every single intricate detail, if you go back and you see all the ancient Indian architecture, it's a work of marvel. You feel like, how did they do this? When you think about so many people who would, craftsmen who would do that, and you think, you're like, wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So
Such an evolved civilization and so much
yeah,
beauty that they saw. So no, I think that's great to hear from you. I've been hearing from many artists, Indian artists, how blessed everybody feels to have grown up around such beautiful art and architecture because it's influenced
exactly.
you as an artist. So it's a humbling thing to I
Exactly.
hear from every one of you. So that's
It
just
is.
yeah, that's just fantastic. And so now you went from being an architect to being this artist. And so jewelry design, I heard. Tell me about that. Architecture to jewelry design seems to be a leap here. And how does one go about designing jewelry?
That was actually really a hobby. I was still working at the time and I really needed an outlet. So after work, or just to unwind, I would start. I looked it up online and I saw a lot of people doing jewelry design. And I think in America, the great thing is that you have all these craft stores and you have everything available. So you can really try your hand at stuff, and that's how I started jewelry design. I sent a couple of my work pieces, out to magazines. They liked it. They published that. And then there's also this organization called Raw DC. It's actually nationwide in the US. They had a competition, an accessory design competition that I won. So it's I love doing it. I don't get as much time to do it around with my kids, but
Yeah.
that's another outlet, a creative outlet for me. So, and who doesn't love jewelry? All
Sure.
women love jewelry.
Oh my God, I should get some custom made from you. So I was going to say
Oh,
that
sure.
what is like, do you have a workshop? Like, do you need tools? Because jewelry design, I would think, needs more than just brush and a paint, So,
Yes, you do need a couple of tools for it, and in the US they're actually pretty easily available. I haven't tried it out here in India, so I can't really comment about that. But you do need a couple of tools. You need like a mat, and that's it's all easily available.
easy.
And then you need a whole lot of imagination to
Always, always,
see what's
always.
going to work, what's
I
not going to
know.
work. So
I know. I always think about that. I'm an Indian classical dancer, and people have made jewelry for the nose, for the sun, and the moon. It's like how creative, right? To do all these
it is. It
beautiful.
is.
Every piece of every part of India has a unique jewelry to them, and
Oh,
it's just beautiful,
and
right?
it's amazing. It's so beautiful, and it's like you look at it and you're like, wow, look at how they think and how pretty it is. Like different parts of it
Right.
are just amazing.
Amazing, wonderful. And then now coloring books for children. How did that come about?
So that is something that I started drawing a lot when I took a break from work, and I'd make these drawings, and I was like, how about I share it with people? Because coloring books, like even my son, he was actually a toddler at the time, but and he would be interested in anything I drew. So he would be like, let me color. He would try to color it out, and I was like, if he can do these simple stuff, I mean, I'm making these drawings, why not share it with everybody? So I first actually came up with a Madhubani themed coloring book, and that's available on Amazon. And then my son grew a little older, and he was like, why don't you make something for kids? So then I made something for kids, which was much simpler and just like an A to Z kind of thing. And I basically wanted to share my work with a lot more people, so that
Yeah.
and I didn't actually even see a lot of Indian folk art themed books. You see there are a lot of coloring books available these days. Everybody wants, it's like a hobby that everybody really wants to do, and it really helps de-stress. So why not help people get something that helps them with their day, I guess.
Right.
So
Yeah. No,
So
but
that's why, and that's why I chose Madhubani, because I mean, I wouldn't say it's traditional Madhubani, but it's off of Madhubani, inspired by Madhubani work. So that's how coloring books
yeah.
happen.
So the color contrast of Madhubani, I'm seeing the blue and the orange and all of that. So you're not traditionally trained in any of this. So you just pick up and you just use whatever style comes. Is that how it is?
Yes, that is actually how it is. I see all this artwork, and then it just I pick up motifs and see how I can draw it in my own style, and where can I use it. Like I came up with this whole alphabet series, and just picked up motifs and try to see how to fit them in and draw them in my own style and make it look good.
Beautiful,
So
beautiful. So I wanted to, ask you about that, you just are taking things and going on, and now you have morphed into, I would say, digital art. So tell me, how
yeah.
did that come about? And is it a different skill to do digital art than it is to do paper, paint kind of art?
That I actually started after my daughter was born. She's like a year and a half old, and I would get really tired at the end of the day. So this was my way to de-stress. And but with a baby or with a really small kid around, you can't really have paints and crayons and pencils and paper all around. So I thought I had to pick something that I could do any time of the day, anywhere that I want to, just de-stress. So that's why I chose an iPad and a stylus, because that's like really easy and you can carry it around with you anywhere you want to and just do it any time of the day. At the night, at night once they sleep, I can sit by her bedside and I don't even need the lights on and I can just draw. So that's why I chose digital art.
Wonderful. And of course, you pretty much, I think you do it the way that you might do it with paper and pencil, but are there opportunity to create new things with digital art?
Oh yes, the opportunity, the scope is limitless. You could do a ton of stuff with it. You can make such realistic, images, like you can't even tell if it's a photograph or somebody's actually drawn it. It's digital art, but I use it for my own style, and I use it the way I would use a pencil and a paper and just try to sketch off of it and just the way I want it. But there's the scope is limitless. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So now for Indie Art, you're going to be offering a workshop. Could you tell us about what people
Yes.
can expect in that workshop? And also, why did you
Uh,
decide to give your time to become part of ACL? What appealed to you about it?
it's such a noble cause, and I really wanted to give back, and just being a part of this it makes me so happy that this is going to such a great cause for schools in India, in rural India. So any way that I contribute, it's just it's an honor to be a part of this. So that's why I chose ACL. And the workshop that I'm going to be doing is it's going to be a digital art workshop. I'm going to try to do I have chosen an image, but I at the same time I'm going to try to get the basics of how to use the software, and how to make a simple drawing, so that anybody who's attending the workshop can use it the way they want to. Like they can, once they get the concepts in, they can just start in using it for their own artwork. So that's what I'm going to be covering in my workshop.
Oh, cool. Well, maybe I'll come in and I'm not very good with paint and brush, but maybe the stylus and the iPad might be useful for me. So,
Oh, it will be. You should come in. My 6-year-old loves doing it. Like
ah,
he loves experimenting with the stylus. So it's pretty easy.
fantastic. Well, then I am motivated now. So I will certainly join
Great.
it. But, any advice you have for, up and coming artists, and also architecture? I mean, what was that profession? Do you think there are kids who should take that up?
Oh, of course they should.
Yeah.
Of course they should take that up. I mean, we need beautiful spaces, don't we? But for upcoming artists, I would say just keep practicing every day. That is something that really helps, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. And just try to develop your own style. I know initially, you get what inspires you is pretty much always somebody else's artwork, or seeing the artwork, or just nature. You see all the artwork in nature, that can inspire you. But keep drawing it, and as you keep drawing, you develop your own style. So don't give up, and just
Practice.
keep practicing.
I love
Yeah.
that for life too, right? Keep practicing, do your homework,
Yeah.
hard work. But
Yeah.
on that point of inspiration, Archa, where do you get your inspiration from?
Um, I am really inspired by, like I said, Madhubani artwork is something that I'm really inspired by. I love colors. I love eye-catching artwork. So that is something like I'm always on the lookout of what I like and what draws my attention. So that, nature, of course. So these are some of my inspirations.
That's great. I know becoming a landscape artist, nature must have inspired you a lot, I'm sure. So,
Oh, definitely, definitely.
wow. And what
And
is,
Indian,
go ahead.
India is so full of colors and rich of colors. Everywhere you see, like there's a ton of inspiration around, So
So during your COVID times in India, has there been beautiful new art that has been come out of you?
oh, a lot. That has been, I say that has been keeping me sane in this, in
Very
this
unusual.
lockdown. I need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, because you
So,
didn't expect to stay so long in India, right? Because
oh no, we didn't. We've been here for almost 4 months now. So it's been a long trip. I'm thankful we're with family. We don't really get to spend so much time with family, so that is really a silver lining. And the kids get to be with their grandparents, so that's really great.
yeah, yeah,
But it's been a long trip.
it has
Yeah.
been a long trip. Yeah. Be safe. You're in Delhi. Is that what it is?
Right now, I'm actually in Bikaner. I was in Delhi a couple of, actually a month ago. Yeah,
Wow, wow.
with my parents. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, be safe, be, happy and look forward. Do you know when you might come back or we don't know yet?
No, we don't know yet.
God bless. Well, enjoy your time in
Thank you.
India, absorb the colors, and we look forward to all the beautiful art that is created. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
for taking the time, and it's really look forward to your workshop really soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Namaste.
Thank you.